A lonely heart and a chance encounter. Sometimes a single glance can change your entire world, especially when your heart is broken and hope seems like a distant memory. Michael lived in a quiet suburban town in the United States, where every house echoed with laughter and warmth. Yet his own home was silent, the walls heavy with memories. After the sudden loss of his wife, Michael not only felt alone, but he had also lost the peace that once filled his life. Books were his only companions, yet even they occasionally reminded him of the emptiness. Every moment felt incomplete, as if the world had moved on without him. One chilly morning, while walking along the park, he noticed a golden retriever, tired, dirty, and hungry, as if carrying the weight of the entire world on its small shoulders. Michael's heart skipped a beat when he realized that the dog's eyes were telling a story of loyalty, pain, and unconditional love. Listening to his heart, Michael decided to bring the dog home. From the very first moment, Max's gaze broke down all the walls Michael had built around his heart. Small steps, gentle breaths, and a wagging tail, everything lit a spark of hope inside him. For the first time in months, he felt that he could be important to someone again, and that someone could care for him unconditionally. That night, Max curled up at the foot of Michael's bed for the first time. His tiny, peaceful breaths filled the room, and Michael felt an overwhelming sense of comfort. In that quiet moment, he whispered to himself, "Perhaps this little being is the greatest peace my heart has ever known." That day marked a turning point in Michael's life, when loneliness stepped aside and loyalty stepped in. With just one look, Max proved that some bonds exist purely between hearts, needing no words at all. The first test and a sacrifice. True loyalty isn't revealed in comfort. It's tested in moments of fear, pain, and uncertainty. The days following Max's arrival brought a warmth Michael hadn't felt in years. The quiet house suddenly felt alive. Even small moments, like Max resting his head on Michael's knee or nudging him gently for a walk, felt like tiny miracles. But life, as Michael had learned, often tested the bonds we hold most dear. One bitterly cold morning, Michael decided to walk to the nearby cafe, a small routine he had once enjoyed with his wife. Max trotted faithfully by his side, his golden fur dusted with frost. As they approached the icy steps outside Michael's home, a sudden slip sent him sprawling. Pain shot through his leg, sharp and unforgiving. He tried to call for help, but his voice barely carried through the biting wind. Max immediately sprang into action. He barked with a fury Michael had never heard before, tugging at his sleeve, pacing frantically around him. When a neighbor peeked outside, Max ran straight to them, circling back to make sure Michael was still there, guiding them like a devoted guardian. The neighbor rushed over, helping Michael to safety just as he realized he might not have made it on his own. In the hospital, Michael lay in a bed with a cast on his leg, his eyes filled with both relief and awe. Max sat quietly at his side, refusing to leave, resting his head on the edge of the bed. Michael felt tears sting his eyes, not of pain but of gratitude. Max's loyalty had gone beyond companionship. It had saved his life. During the next few weeks, Michael reflected on the small acts that revealed true devotion. Max never left his side, not even when the world outside seemed indifferent. Each bark, each wag, each nuzzle reminded him that he wasn't alone. That little golden dog had become his anchor, his protector, and the silent keeper of his broken heart. Michael realized then that loyalty is not measured by the easy days or the quiet nights. It is forged in moments of fear, sacrifice, and unwavering presence. And Max, in his quiet, steadfast way, had shown him the purest form of love. A love that asks for nothing but gives everything. From that day on, Michael knew their bond was unbreakable. Max wasn't just a dog. He was family, a guardian, and a reminder that even in life's harshest moments, true friendship can shine brighter than any sorrow. Building trust and finding joy. Sometimes the smallest hearts teach us the greatest lessons about love, trust, and hope. After the incident on the icy steps, life began to take on a new rhythm for Michael and Max. The bond between them was no longer just companionship, it had deepened into something unspoken but undeniable. Each day, Michael observed Max closely, the way he tilted his head in curiosity, the soft paw nudges when Michael was lost in thought, and the way his eyes seemed to understand emotions words could never express. Michael started sharing more of his life with Max. He would read aloud to him in the quiet evenings, telling him stories from his childhood, recounting memories of his late wife, and even talking about his dreams, some he had long abandoned. Max would sit quietly, resting his head on Michael's lap, listening as if he comprehended every word. Michael often whispered to himself, "How is it that a creature so small can hold such a large piece of my heart?" They began taking long walks around the neighborhood. Children would smile and wave at Max, enchanted by his gentle nature. But Michael noticed how Max always stayed close, alert and protective, making sure his human was safe. Even strangers remarked on their connection, a man and his dog, walking in perfect sync, radiating a warmth that touched everyone nearby. One rainy afternoon, Michael slipped on the wet pavement again. Though it was nothing as serious as before, Max immediately leapt forward, pressing his body close to Michael's side, guiding him safely to a bench. It wasn't just instinct, it was care, understanding, and a loyalty that had grown stronger with each passing day. Michael realized that Max had become his mirror. Through him, he learned patience, resilience, and the joy of living in small moments. A shared look, a wagging tail, or a playful bark could brighten days that once felt gray and empty. For the first time in years, Michael found himself laughing freely, feeling truly alive. At night, when Max curled up beside him, Michael would gently stroke his fur and whisper, "You've changed my world, little one. You've shown me that trust and love can heal even the loneliest heart." Chapter by chapter, their lives intertwined more deeply. Max was not only a friend, he was a teacher, a guardian, and a constant reminder that even in the midst of grief, life could offer moments of pure, unconditional joy. The greatest test of loyalty. Loyalty is not proven in comfort, it is forged in the fire of danger and fear. Months had passed since Max came into Michael's life. Their bond had grown unbreakable, each day deepening the trust and love they shared. Michael could no longer imagine life without Max's soft fur against his hand, his gentle nuzzles, and the unwavering presence that had become his anchor. One evening, during a routine walk in the park, a sudden commotion shattered the calm. A loose dog from a nearby street charged toward them, barking furiously. Michael froze, unsure how to react, his heart racing in panic. Max immediately positioned himself between Michael and the aggressor, growling low and steady, his stance protective and unyielding. The other dog lunged, teeth bared, and in a split second, Max leapt forward, pushing Michael back to safety. In the chaos, Max was bitten on his shoulder. Michael screamed, rushing to his loyal companion, cradling him in his arms as blood stained his golden fur. Tears streamed down Michael's face as he whispered frantically, "No, not you, my little hero. Stay with me." Max whimpered softly but lifted his eyes to Michael, as if to say, "I'm here. I won't leave you." Despite the pain, he remained close, refusing to let Michael out of his sight. In that moment, Michael realized the depth of Max's loyalty. It was not just love. It was courage, selflessness, and an unwavering bond that transcended fear and suffering. Rushing to the nearest veterinarian, Michael stayed by Max's side through hours of treatment, holding his paw, whispering words of comfort, and promising that everything would be all right. Max, despite his injuries, never whimpered for long. His focus was Michael, his human, and protecting him had always been his first instinct. That night, as Max rested with bandages wrapped around his shoulder, Michael sat quietly beside him, reflecting on everything he had learned from this small, golden-hearted creature. Loyalty, he realized, wasn't just a feeling. It was action, sacrifice, and courage in the face of danger. Max had not only saved him emotionally, but had proven that true devotion could withstand any trial, any threat, any storm. Michael held Max close and whispered softly, "You are not just a dog. You are my family, my guardian, my heart." From that day on, their connection was no longer just companionship. It was a sacred bond. Michael knew that in Max, he had discovered the truest definition of love, loyalty, and courage, a love that could never be measured in words, only felt in the heart. Healing hearts and small joys. Sometimes the smallest hearts leave the biggest marks on our souls. After the terrifying incident in the park, life for Michael and Max slowly returned to a gentle rhythm. But something had changed. Max's quiet courage and unwavering loyalty had opened a door in Michael's heart that he hadn't even realized was closed. The empty, lonely spaces were now filled with warmth, laughter, and tiny, everyday miracles that only a faithful companion could bring. Mornings became a time of shared joy. Michael would brew his coffee while Max sat patiently, wagging his tail, eyes bright with anticipation for the day ahead. Walks that were once mundane transformed into moments of connection. Max sniffing the crisp air, exploring every corner, yet always returning to Michael's side. Each step felt like a celebration of their bond. Each glance a reminder that love could heal wounds deeper than any medicine. Evenings brought quiet moments of reflection. Michael would read to Max, telling him stories about his childhood, dreams he had once abandoned, and memories of his late wife. Max would rest his head on Michael's lap, listening as if he understood every word. In the silence, Michael felt an indescribable comfort. He realized that Max wasn't just a dog. He was a healer of hearts, a silent witness to grief, and a companion who celebrated every small victory in life. Friends and neighbors noticed the transformation. Michael, once withdrawn and somber, now laughed easily, spoke warmly and smiled often. Max had become his bridge back to the world, teaching him patience, joy, and trust again. It was in the little things, a playful bark, a soft paw on the knee, a wagging tail, that Michael felt the depth of Max's devotion and the beauty of unconditional love. One rainy afternoon, as Max shook off droplets and nudged Michael with a wet nose, Michael realized something profound. Life didn't have to be lonely. Pain could coexist with love, grief could coexist with joy, and trust could be rebuilt, one small act at a time. He whispered softly, stroking Max's fur, "You've changed my world. Max, you've healed my heart when I thought it was beyond repair." That night, as Max curled up at the foot of his bed, Michael closed his eyes with a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. The silent companionship, the shared glances, and the tiny moments of joy had sewn together the torn pieces of his soul. Through Max, Michael had discovered that life's greatest treasures often come in small, furry packages, and that love, loyalty, and devotion could make even the loneliest heart feel whole again. A bond that lasts forever. Some bonds are timeless, some hearts are inseparable, and some love transcends words and lifetimes. Years had passed since Max first entered Michael's life. The small, timid golden retriever had grown into a strong, loyal companion, and Michael had transformed from a lonely, grieving man into someone who embraced life fully. Their bond had endured trials, fear, and hardship, but it had only grown stronger with each passing day. One sunny morning, Michael sat on the porch, sipping his coffee while Max lay by his side, soaking in the warmth of the sun. Michael watched him closely, noticing the subtle grays in Max's fur and the slower pace of his steps. Time had marked them both, but it had not diminished the love and loyalty that connected them. Michael gently scratched behind Max's ears and whispered, "Every day with you has been a gift. Max, you've given me more than I could ever repay." Life, however, had one more lesson to teach. That evening, Michael felt a sudden sharp pain in his chest. He fell to the floor, gasping for breath. Max immediately sensed the danger. He barked frantically, nudged Michael, and ran to the phone to alert the neighbor, who called for help. Emergency responders arrived just in time, saving Michael's life once again. As he recovered in the hospital, Michael realized something profound. Max had not only been his companion through grief and loneliness, but he had also been his guardian, protector, and lifeline. The loyalty of one small dog had saved him multiple times, both physically and emotionally. Max had taught him the true meaning of devotion, trust, and unconditional love. Returning home, Michael held Max close, feeling the heartbeat of his faithful friend. He thought of all the moments, the icy steps, the park attack, the quiet evenings together, the playful walks in the rain, and understood that life's greatest blessings often come on four paws. That night, as Max curled up beside him, Michael whispered softly, "You are not just my dog. You are my family, my heart, and my hero, forever and always." Michael knew with unwavering certainty that their bond would never fade. Max had changed his life in ways that words could never fully capture. Their story, a story of loyalty, courage, and unconditional love, would live on as a testament to the power of a heart that loves purely, a soul that protects without hesitation, and a friend who never ever gives up. In the quiet of the night, with Max by his side, Michael smiled, knowing that some love is eternal, some loyalty is unmatched, and some bonds last forever.